Hey, mama. Stress is something we all deal with as moms in business. While we can't completely stop stress from happening, we can do things to minimize our stress in our day to day lives. In today's episode, I interview Michelle Martinez all about how to reduce stress as a mom. Michelle shares her process for creating life systems to help you reduce stress and make life much more manageable as a busy mama. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Hey, mama. Welcome to Marketing Without Socials for Moms, the go-to podcast for moms in business who want to stop relying on social media to build their business and build it in a way that fits their current season of life. I'm your host, Andrea Singletary, a wife, mama of two, and visibility strategist for moms. Each week, I'm giving you the inside scoop on how to increase your visibility, leads, and sales through podcasting, email marketing, and collaborations. Ready to truly make social media optional in your business? Grab your chai tea latte and let's dive into today's episode. All right, I'm sitting down to chat with Michelle Martinez, and we are going to be talking all about how to reduce stress as a mom. Specifically, Michelle has a system, a process for creating life systems. So we're going to be digging into all of that. So Michelle, welcome to the show. Please tell us about yourself, who you are, what you do, and all about your family.
Hey, I am Michelle and I'm a life systems strategist and I I have my husband of how long have we been together now? 14 years. I have my daughter of 9 and then I have my fur baby Shotzi. She's 6 years old, German Shepherd. And yes, I have been trying to navigate life's beautiful bitchiness, as I call it, with life systems for the last couple of years now. And it spawned from me literally navigating life. And the last, 6 years have been tumultuous, to say the least. We've all gone through so much with the pandemic. And for me, it was started with, it felt like my toxic job that I had that just was not good for my mental health. And the end of it was just such a strange, vibe and a microcosm of what it was and dealing with the HR there where I was taking care of my dad at the same time. Right as the pandemic hit, he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I even had my daughter who was in kindergarten at the time, distance learning in the back of the car, taking him to his chemo appointment. So it was so crazy. And I realized he needs me more than any time is ever with his health. And so I had to take time away and dealing with HR. They were like, well, how much time do you need? It's like, I don't know. My dad's
Yeah.
going through this life altering disease or illness. And so long story short, they just kind of backed me into a corner and kind of forced me to resign, which was actually a blessing in disguise. And then a lot of events happened after that. The good and the bad. My dad passed away. He's no longer suffering, but I miss him dearly. But I learned a lot with taking care of him in that I somehow, some way started building systems, taking care of him. But it was just slapping everything together. And my cousin came over to relieve me a weekend or two. And I was just like, okay, here's all I got, on how you can take care of him. This is when his medicine is supposed to be administered. This is what he's supposed to be eating, what he likes to eat, um, how to bed bath him, and just all the little things that went with taking care of him. And then fast forward to me then being diagnosed with a chronic illness. It was navigating life with now this whole new disease that I was like, okay, what is happening? What are you trying to tell me? What's going on? And I like to say weirdly, took that as a sign that I need to start taking care of myself. I need to start making myself a priority. And then me remembering taking care of my dad, me remembering being an admin in one of my positions before, and just systems and how we can get through life and how we can get through things. And it was trying to tell my husband and my daughter, I need your help with taking care of the house. I need your help with taking care of me. And this is how you can help me. And it's life systems, as I kind of call it. It's kind of putting it like a personal version of standard operating procedures and what you hear on the business side of things. But it's on your personal side. And it's like, here, this is how you can help me take care of me. This is how you can help me take care of the house, and it kind of spawned into a few different things. And it's been kind of fun. And it's been awesome to meet other moms and help them with their, unique situations and kind of go from there.
Yeah. First, I want to say sorry for your loss. It's tough. We lost my aunt last year to cancer, and
Hmm.
you know, it's just seeing them go through it. It's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I totally get that. But
Thank you. Thank
it's
you.
you're welcome. But it's amazing how we can take these life situations, these life transforming situations,
Hmm.
and look at, okay, how can we support others through something similar and everything. So I'm super excited to be able to talk to you about these life systems, because I feel like, especially as moms, we need this. Like, life is always just going, going, going for us, and we have so many things to keep up with and whatnot, but we still have to find a way to prioritize ourselves and everything. And so I know with my listeners, like, one thing that comes up is, how do we actually reduce our stress as a mom? What are some things that we can do? And I know, how you support your clients, you help them create these life systems. And so tell us, what are life systems, and even like kind of walk us through that process of you supporting a client with creating their own life systems.
Yes. And it definitely depends on the mom and their situation. So if you're a mom who has ADHD and a little one, how do I manage everything? And it's it's taking you as the household operations manager and figuring out which hats that you wear on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, really, and trying to set it up to make things a little bit more manageable. And I have roughly 12 different categories of life systems. And so that's where it can truly depend on your situation. I have a life system for if it's for kids. So if you are looking for someone to babysit your child, a new child care provider, how do you want that person to take care of your kid? Because let's face it, mama bears, we are very protective of our little cubs, and we want to make sure that this person is going to take care of, especially now where we have little ones with special needs. We have little ones with special needs as far as their mental health, with their dietary things. List all of that out so that they know how to take care of your child. I have a system for household harmony. And again, it's going back to how do you want your house to be taken care of? And it's going through each room and writing down what you do to take care of each room. I will help you map that out, put it into a place where you can explain this is how you wash the dishes, this is how you load the dishwasher, this is where the dishes goes. If you want to add pictures to kind of help whoever's looking at this guideline, then we can go from there. I have a self-care one. So that way, if you're looking to revamp your self-care routine, or if you're trying to figure out how you can tweak your current routine, we will look at that, put a game plan together. For my chronic illness girlies, I have a chronic wellness one. So, what is your medication management? What is your treatments? What are your treatments? How often do you have to do those? For me personally, I do 4-week cycles for my infusion for my chronic illness. And your support system should know this, needs to know this, so they know how to support you and get you to your appointment. So, It's it's taking the time first and foremost to understand you in your unique situation. What are your challenges? And then trying to break it down and figure out how we can make it more manageable for you. Because there could be some things that you are doing and you feel like it's necessary to do, but you don't necessarily have to do it. Or if there's something that you can delegate out to somebody else, it's always that outside perspective. And I was just sharing this in a Threads conversation where it's so funny how us as moms, trying to help ourselves, or we struggle to help ourselves, I should say. And it's so easy to help others. And now we need to shift that mindset and learn how to put ourselves first and not on the back burner. And it could be as simple too of putting a plan together where you're finding 10 minutes of your day. I know it sounds crazy. And I know as a busy mom, it's like, okay, how do I find 10 minutes? There's 10 minutes in there, but because you're just trying to get everything and keep everything together, it's a matter of just, okay, let me take 10 minutes. And even when the little one's asleep and you want to do something else, take that time for yourself. 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. You don't have to do nothing more, anything major. And that could be an energy boost. That could be journaling or meditation. It just depends on your unique situation. So that way we can figure out how we can find your version of a balanced life. Because everybody's life is so different and so unique. It just depends on what works for you. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that is really, really good. And I love that you have life systems for different categories and everything. And it's
Mhm.
so true. It's figuring out like what is best for you, looking at your unique situation and everything. Um, so, how can we decide on which life system we should create first? Because like you said, you have life systems for lots of different categories. So like if I'm a mom where I come to you like, okay, Michelle, I need some life systems, but where do I focus on first? Like, how do you support your clients in figuring that out?
The first thing I would say, it would be I have a freebie for that, and it's called Which Life Systems Fits Me This Season? And it's kind of like an assessment. And it actually goes through all 12 categories, and you kind of put it through a rating system on a 1 through 5 rating system. And you mark if it's 1, it's low. If it's 5, help. I need help. And then at the end, you tally up every system that you went through, and whichever system ranks the highest, that's the one that's letting you know that's what's bothering you the most. You may think it's a different one, but then once you start going through the assessment and you realize, oh, I need to do a little bit more active living, that's the one I need to work on. Oh, I need to do a little bit more of an energy flow switch up and figure out how to find a little bit more energy. I need to, oh, wait, maybe it's a mind soul balance that I need to adjust, or it's compassionate caregiving. If it's someone that I am caring for or someone that is caring for my loved one, that's it's whatever sometimes we think it's one thing, but when you have to sit down and think about it, oh, it's this other one. And so once you go through that assessment and it lets you know what your top 3 that you need to work on is, probably that number 1 that you really truly need to work on. And then you can kind of dig a little deeper once you go through that a little bit more. You can reach out to me in my DMs and Instagram. We could talk about it. And then we can figure out, do you need a mini life tune up? Do you need a life systems audit? I have a few different ways to kind of start the process of it. And then it's just, okay, I kind of need to work on this aspect. I want to exercise more. And it's like, okay, what are your exercising, levels at the moment? And I'm going to be upfront. I'm not a trainer or anything like that. Any advice I give you, it's based off my own experience. Back in my heyday, I was an active runner. I was a Zumba instructor. I used to go running with my German Shepherd. But today's Michelle, it's a whole different whole different life. And so I have to put myself through, I put myself through my own assessment. And I think for me, the number one thing for me to work on was my energy flow. And so it's to check in with myself and make sure I am still taking care of myself the way I should be. So that's ultimately where you should start, is just going through that assessment. And again, it's free. Just kind of just, tickle the feelers of like, okay, maybe that is something. And then you can kind of go from there and figure out what the next steps are.
That's awesome. I will be sure to link the assessment in the show notes, but it's so true. A lot of times we think, one area is a major concern. And then, like, when you really look at everything, it's like, oh, wait, no, I need to take care of this, put out this fire over here first
Yep.
and everything.
It could be one of those things you're trying to just subliminally push away. Like, no, I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with that. But then when you have to like actually be honest with yourself, because remember,
Hmm.
it's you being honest with yourself and what's truly bothering you. And so you're the one that's answering this assessment. Be open and upfront with yourself, honor what you're feeling, and then, it'll show you truly like, oh yeah, maybe it is that.
Yes, definitely. So I would love to hear about like how either for you or your clients, like how creating these life systems have benefited you.
Oh my gosh, it's been it's been a weight lifted off of me. I was the person, still struggle, I'm not gonna lie, the doer of all things. That is the biggest thing. I have the strong belief that back in the day, the dawn of time, whenever you want to start it, it's ingrained in a woman's DNA that we are the doer of all things. Way back once upon a time, managing the homestead, taking care of the homestead, taking care of the kids, taking care of all of this. Then you fast forward a little bit to where women were allowed to have jobs. And then you have a job, but you're still taking care of the kids. You're still taking care of home, still taking care of everything else. And you just keep running on all cylinders. And then it's like, wait, I was supposed to take care of something else. Oh, yeah, wait, that's me. And so it's just going through all of that. And again, having the chronic illness that kind of slapped me in the face like, okay, it's time, Michelle, to start taking care of yourself. Stop doing everything and putting that life system together. The biggest one that's helped me the most was the household harmony system, because I was able to delegate the chores and delegate, yes, there's still times where you're doing it wrong, but it's like, shut up, Michelle. They're taking the time to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, check it off the list. You're not doing it anymore. That's 5, 10, 20 minutes in your day. However long it took you before, you got that back now. And that's actually more time for you, more time for yourself. So that way you can pour that into your self-care bucket and use that to take care of yourself. Or if it's spending time with your family, then that's more time to spend time with your family because you have the energy back, because you're not depleting it, stretching yourself in every directions. And that's ultimately where the life systems can help you. It's giving you permission to ask for help. And, your support system can come and just say, hey, Michelle, how can I help you today? Oh my God, thank you so much for thinking about me and wanting to help me. This is how you can help me. And again, this will ring true for those with a chronic illness. You're going to have low energy days. You're going to have flare ups, and you can't get out of bed. You can't get to your medicine and take your medicine on time. But if you have a friend, family member that's calling to check on you and they're nearby, oh, you know what? Can you go down to the pharmacy? I will call and give them permission for you to pick it up. I need your help to pick up my medicine. Or next week is my next infusion or my treatment. Can you take me to my treatment? I need help. Oh, sure. What's everything? Send them that chronic wellness plan that you have, and they know how to take care of you. They know how to reach out to your healthcare team if it's okay with you. This is where it can really help you. And the life systems can sound like, oh my God, I got to put all of this together. Yes and no. And yes, it may take time because you have to sit down and think about it, but that's where I can come in. I can help you. You can brain dump everything and I can help you put it together if you don't want to take the time to put it together. That's why I'm here to help you relieve some of that from you. But once it's put together, it's so valuable for you to have it because, again, it's giving it to that support system and just saying, this is how you can help me today. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to help me. I greatly appreciate it.
I love that, especially that piece where you said about giving yourself permission to ask for help. Because I know as moms, we really, really struggle with that. Like, we
Hmm.
could get in this cycle or this habit of just doing, because it is a lot easier to just do without having to stop and tell people what needs to be done or how to do it and different things like that. But like you said, having those life systems, like having things already in place where you can just hand it over and they know exactly what to do, it makes a world of a difference. It makes me think of when I had my son. I had him at the height of the pandemic, and I remember it was probably like about 6 months postpartum, and me and my husband finally decided to like go out on a date and leave, our son with my mom. And so I put together everything she needed so she would
Yep.
know like when to feed him, how much to feed him, everything from like what to do with changing his diaper. Cause with little boys, you gotta make sure you
Hmm.
put the penis down so it doesn't shoot out the diaper.
Yep.
You wonder
It's like,
how
protect
he's
yourself. Yep.
wet and his clothes not wet. But anyways, like I put all that together and it felt good for me because I knew that I gave her everything she needed to take care of him. And so I was
Yes.
able to go and enjoy that date with my husband and just be present with my husband instead of wondering like, oh, does she have this? Does she need this? Is my son okay?
Yes.
Different things like
Yes.
that. And so it does make a world of a difference, because again, like as moms, we can just get in the habit of just doing, but we're running ourselves into the ground,
Mhm.
and we don't want to do that. We want to live and see our kids grow up and they go on, get married, have kids or whatever. Like we want to be able to live these long, thriving lives, but it has to start with taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself. And so I truly believe like having these life systems that's going to allow you to do that and take a lot of that pressure off of you. Take a lot of that, we feel like as moms, we hear about like we carry the mental load and everything. Well, if you have life systems, you don't have to carry that mental load on your
Yep.
own.
Yep.
So I absolutely love the work that you do, and it's so needed. Just to have that support and just that reminder that you can ask for help. You
Yeah.
need to ask for help at the
Yes.
end of the
Yes.
day. Yeah.
Yes. And yes, definitely. Thank you for sharing your story with, you and your husband going on a date. Yes, that's another part of my kids care plan. That's one of the categories I have, my kids care plan. So you want to do that date night with your significant other. You want to go on that girls' night.
Hmm.
You want to go on that trip. My daughter is 9. I still have a plan for her for when she stays with my mom for the weekend. When my husband and I go out of town, I have it for when she stays with my in-laws. And, yes, and that puts me in another thing. Yes, you're going to have challenges.
Yes.
You're going to have challenges when you're trying to introduce the life systems to whoever it is. Um, I have it with my mom and I have it with my in-laws where because I don't know what it is. I'm going to go on a small tangent. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is with the grandparents, why all of a sudden the rules change. It's
Yes.
like, wait a minute, you didn't do that when I was, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yes.
whoa. Why are you
Yes.
allowing that now? Why? Wait a minute.
Yeah, now all of a sudden they got McDonald's money.
Yes. So this is you're going to have to be okay with those difficult conversations, and that can
Mhm.
even be introducing the household harmony life system in the house. With this is how the house should be cleaned. This is how it should be put together. Now the on the flip side, like I said before, I've had to check myself a few times. It's like
Mhm.
that's not how I would do it. Oh, okay. You know what? Shut up, Michelle. They did it. You pick, it's always old school, pick your battles.
Yep. Yep.
Because you can. Okay, they do it. And then you're going to go back into your habits and go back after behind them and then refluff it and redo it and be that person. No, let it
Mhm.
be. They did it. They took care of it. Just be. And that's what the other thing I have. I have another freebie. I will share this one. It's the Life Systems Blueprint. And I have it in there how to navigate the challenges and how to overcome the obstacles of the
Mhm.
difficult discussions of when you come across it. Have those family meetings, have those support system meetings just so you can openly and honestly talk about it. There is a section in there asking for feedback. Is this working for you? Does this system make sense to you? Where do we need to tweak it so it makes sense? Does this particular step on how you're using the mop or anything like that, does it make sense? Does it work? Always ask for feedback because
Mhm.
you could have been doing it one way. They may come to you with a better way to do it or a better idea. And you're just like, oh my gosh, let me update the life system. Here's the updated revision and move on and keep going from there. So definitely ask for help, be
Mhm.
okay with having the discussions about it and be okay with the challenges because everybody does things different. Everybody's come from a different upbringing on how they've done things and how they clean things and come together, come to, a friendly agreement
Mhm.
on how to get through it. And this will just make you and everyone else a better collective group. It'll save so much headache, so much time, a lot of things. Yes.
Yes, love that. So as we wrap up, there is one question I love to ask my guests is who is one coach or mentor who's had a major impact on your journey as an entrepreneur?
Oh, dang you. That one's hard because there's a few of them.
Okay, I'll give you
You're,
two. I'll give you two.
I was like, dang it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go present day. The two, you, you have been huge in it since you've been in my life. And I love the fact that we had a chance to meet with each other in
I
real life.
know.
That's awesome. You're one of my people that's on the West Coast because not everybody I talk to is on the West Coast. And another gal is Katie Kastner. And I also joined her membership around the same time joining yours.
Yes.
And
I love Katie.
yes, and I listened to your guys's episode. That was
Mhm.
awesome. Um, and with her, she was actually the one that was just like, this is how you can do your social media content, Michelle. Just have your phone off to the side. Because I told her that what fits me is if I'm going to be on camera, it's in an interview style situation, just like this
Mhm.
episode. And I can just say everything. But as soon as I sit there and intentionally put a camera in my face and try to spit out some content, I turn into that old school WB frog. And it's just like, um, what I'm trying to say is, um, and the struggle is real. So
Yes.
she was just like, no, do it this way. And she's like, use your same idea, your approach, and you just change it up this. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And then with you coming into my life, we're just like, no, use that blog, use your email. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, great. I'm good at that. Collaborations, I'm great at that. This is
Yeah.
what I need in my life. So both of you guys, again, it's the people that looks at your situation on the outside in because you're so close to everything yourself
Yes.
that you don't want to take a big picture vision of it and so
Mhm.
you guys have just been truly awesome in helping me basically
Mhm.
revamp where I am, revamp where I've been, and giving me part of that hard reset I've been talking about lately and just starting fresh and really looking at my business and how to tackle my business from a different point of view. It's become fun again and not
Yes.
just, draining like, okay, I have to put content together. Okay, I have to do this. And, it's become fun again.
Yes, I love hearing that, and, that email you sent out, like, I really, really loved it. It was so good.
No, thank you. Yay.
Yes. Yes. So as we wrap up, please share with listeners where they can connect with you and learn more about working with you.
Yes, you can find me mostly on Instagram. I'm on TikTok too. But both of them is life systems underscore Michelle with two L's. Um, that's my at for both of those where you can find me. And that I have my website linked in both of those where you can find all my goodies, all my services. Send me a DM just saying, hey, hello. I talk too much, so you are okay with saying, Michelle, I'm done talking to you. Like, okay, bye. Talk to you next time. But if you just want to have a fun, casual conversation, I'm your girl. Talk anytime.
Yes, Michelle is a lot of fun. She will have you rolling. When we went out to lunch together, she had me rolling the entire time. So
The goofy personality, that's me.
yes, lots of fun. Well, thank you so, so
No,
much.
thank you. Thank you.
This was a good conversation. So thank you again just for sharing about, your life systems and really just giving us a lot of great tips and strategies as moms.
Yes, yes, we all need it. We can all keep adding to your toolkit of just all the things that works. One tool may not work for one situation or season, but you keep finding that one you remember that's deep down in there. Oh yes, I can use this one. You need it. You need to keep your toolbox as a mom handy and ready because you never know what curveball life's going to throw at you.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Mama. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang with me. I would love to keep the conversation going. So head to mamaturnedmompreneur.com/marketing without socials to join my email community. I share even more tips and strategies for building a business that doesn't rely on social media and one that fits your current season of life, as well as more behind the scenes of mom and business life. All right, Mama, that's it for today, but I'll catch up with you again next week.